And when Nigerian army or Nigerian police just come, all over the place, the villager will just be looking at them. Because they know that these Nigerian army cannot protect them. Yesterday, I saw it on the news. The notorious Chibok. Everybody know Chibok. Everybody know Chibok. Chibok is already an international name. The indigents of Chibok came on TV. The elders, the leaders of Chibok came on TV and said that a Nigerian government should come and help to avoid Chibok being annihilated. That the terrorists are taking over Chibok. That the terrorists come into Chibok anytime they like, unchallenged. Today, I mean, as of 29th of this month, that was when these came out. And I must have reported, they must have written to police, they must have written to army, they must have written to jobless SSS that, because it is very important to know that when it seems so pronounced like this in the society, then Secret Service had become irrelevant. Because the work of the so-called Secret Service is DSS. There is nothing like DSS in Nigerian law. It's Secret Service, State Service, State Security. That is their name. They are the one that gave themselves DSS. There is no such thing as DSS in Nigerian law. If anybody sue them to court with that name, the person will win the case. If the Secret Service fail in their responsibility, then crime will be all over the place, because one of their work is to make sure that crime is exposed before it happens. But now, everybody is overwhelmed. Criminals coming to town, to the town, anyhow. Meanwhile, Secret Service is supposed to know that something is going to happen at a particular time, so that the authority that be will get ready for it. Now, they have also failed. They are now being used to chase people around in the town, while terrorists are taking over people in villages. When nations fail to provide security for their citizens, that state by United Nations Convention, that state is a failed state. It's as simple as that. That is why so many human beings don't want to come to Nigeria. A lot of people abroad have told me they don't want to come to Nigeria. And when you ask them why, they will not think about it. They will say no security. So most of us that are here, we are surviving by survival by the fittest. We are surviving by grace. We are surviving by boldness. We are surviving by courage. We are surviving by heavenly help. Because if the heaven does not help you now, you cannot be helped. I remember a time that the terrorists came as close as Buhari in Abuja. Adopt people and took them inside the bush. There is no boy that does not know Buhari town in Abuja. What is the distance of when you get to Dutse Alaji? You are already close to Buhari town. So when you hear that terrorists are in Niger State, how long, how far is Niger and Abuja. Not just that they are in Niger, they have taken over villages and collecting taxes. They are not just collecting taxes, they have the courage to move inside the town and be sharing mudu of rice to citizens. And they have succeeded in convincing the citizens who are bringing their young boy to join them. And they are joining them in their number, in their thousands. That's why it will look as if Nigerian army will say they kill and kill and kill, yet they have not been able to be defeated. It is very important for you to know it is not because it is impossible to get rid of terrorists in Nigeria. Why it is looking as if it is difficult is simply because some of those army generals are all terrorists. Some of those army generals, they are terrorists. How? The money that the government will give them to fight terrorists, they will pocket it. When they know that terrorists strike a particular place and they receive a call, and soldiers have told me that, and they consult their Oga, we heard that terrorists have taken over some area. Do we go? There are several times some of the Oga will say, don't go. What happened? Well, it has a connection with what is happening there. The terrorist he is working with has paid him. Otherwise, what I have just said now, does it make any sense? That somebody who will pledge allegiance to a country will be working. One United States Army was telling me, he said, Bishop, do you know why we withdrew from Nigeria when we came to help Nigeria? I said, no, tell me. He said, because Nigerian army want us to compromise, and we cannot compromise because we are well paid. He said on several occasions, when they call us that there's a trouble in a particular place and we move, we'll find out that the terrorists will lay ambush several times. And when we now use our own United States intelligence, we found out that it is Nigerian military that is conniving with terrorists. So when we are about to leave, they will tell the terrorists that we are coming. The terrorists will always know that they are coming. It's either they will get there, they will not see the terrorists, or as they are going, the terrorists will lay ambush. That was why America withdrew that time. Why? Because the nation they are trying to help, they are not helping issue. It's a risk. That's as it is now. It's even a risk to help Nigeria fight terrorists. Now, I have just given little of the issues of life that make sorrow to linger. Just little. Just little. Among the issue of life that makes sorrow to linger in people's life. That was why Jeremiah said, come I into this world to see labor and sorrow, so that my days will be consumed in shame. Sorrow is known to last for a long time. It get to a time that the human being now begin to get used to sorrow. May you not get used to sorrow. It get to a time that human beings begin to get used to sorrow and begin to adjust their life because they have no choice. As I have just given you an example now, are you telling me that all of those villages that have been invaded by terrorists, are you telling me that they like it? They don't like it. They have no choice. You are just in your house, somebody is coming to knock at your door, and it's hanging gun and putting bullets everywhere like a necklace. When you ask him, who are you? He will tell you who he is. Are you Nigerian? He will say no. What are you doing here? We have taken over your village, your house. How many boys and what is their age? Let them come out. In crime psychology, when you are captured by enemy, you are advised. You are in crime psychology, you are advised to obey your captor. Don't argue with them. That is what crime psychology taught. Don't argue when you are surrounded by enemies. Don't argue. All that is being in your brain is how you are going to escape, which is most time very scanty. So the crime psychology say when the enemy that capture you asks you to lie down, you lie down. When they ask you to sit down, you sit down. When they ask you to close your eyes, you close your eyes. When say you don't look at me, don't look at him. That was what made these villages to join them, because they have no choice. Who will ever believe in this world that Chibok of all places will be so porous to an extent that yesterday, as of 29th of January, the people, the indigents of that place came on TV and cried out that Chibok is being invaded at will by terrorists. I mean, at will. They say hundreds of Chibok girls that were taken away some years ago. Up to now, over 100 of them has not been accounted for. Over 100 has not been accounted for. You know how many years we have been talking about this Chibok thing? And the question I'm asking myself is this. This place they took these girls to, is it not among the Nigerian territory? Are you telling me that Nigerian topography is bigger than the government of Nigeria? Are you telling me that there are some areas in Nigeria that Nigerian government cannot cover? If there are areas they cannot cover, why won't they give this area they cannot cover to another country? Who can cover it? It's as simple as that. Instead of allowing people to just be sorrowing and be sorrowing and be sorrowing. If the area is close to Cameroon, give the place to Cameroon since you can't cover it. If it's close to Benin Republic, give it to Benin Republic since you cannot cover it. The question I keep asking, this place they took these girls to, all these human beings to, is it not part of Nigerian territory? Is Nigeria telling me that there are some territory they cannot cover? And if there are territory they cannot cover, that means they will not be able to provide security for their citizens. That is why it looks as if when they say, oh, terrorists is in the village, the soldier will just move in there, police will move in there, and terrorists will wait for them to move out because they will move out. Terrorists will wait for them to move out. When they move out, terrorists will move back. And this is what that man said has been happening in Chibok right now. Wait, let me ask you, where is Leah Sharibu? The last time we heard was she has given birth. Now, see, typical of what we are talking about, sorrow. An innocent girl who wants to go to school was captured in the school against her will. They said she should convert to Islam. She refused. That she will not convert to Islam. So they released some girls. I mean, in Nigerian territory, terrorists released some girls and deliberately left Leah Sharibu behind because she said she would not convert to Islam. And then they forcefully give her to one of the terrorists as husband. Right now, maybe she's having 2 or 3 children now. Right now. Because they told us last time she gave birth. Now, how do you remove sorrow from that? Let's use Leah Sharibu right now as an example. How do you remove sorrow from the heart of that girl? I don't know what to call her now, whether girl or woman. You are in a place you are not happy. You are being surrounded by gun, and you are giving birth to another human being. Come on. Come on. When this child grows and you are telling your child the story, what kind of story are you going to tell the child? I was adopted from my village with a gun, and I was forced to marry your father. Yes. And up to now I am still being forced. And the child will say, where did we come from? We came from Nigeria. Where are we now? I don't know. Eh? Yes. Yes. Let me ask this question in case somebody is hearing. This place, these people are being captured and sent to. Is it not part of the territory of Nigeria? Where is the territorial integrity right now? You mean in a territory in Nigeria, you can catch 300 people. 200 move, over 200 move at the same time. The time they came to Chibok. Are you telling me that 200 people will be moving very fast like a bicycle? Are you saying they will move fast like a motorcycle? Are you saying they will move fast like a canapé? Are you saying they will move fast like a motor? If you come to catch 200 people, it must have been in a big lorry. And this big lorry will move on a sandy soil. And this big lorry will not move fast like that. That immediately Nigerian Air Force will not take off from their base and begin to scan the environment and be following the lorry. Be following the lorry to see where the lorry will stop. There is no such thing in Nigeria. They will come and catch 300 people at the same time. And these people will be there for years. I mean, years. Not days. Don't try that with America and see what is going to happen. Don't even try that with America. America is big, bigger than Nigeria, but so many times. Only the state of Houston alone is bigger than only Nigeria. Only one state is bigger than the whole Nigeria in America. Just one state. In America, there are territories you go in America, their time differs. I mean, in some states in America, they are waking up in some places and some people are sleeping because it's massive. But don't mess around the place. Because when you are in some places in America, when you look everywhere, I took my time to look everywhere. Anytime I go to America, I look everywhere. So you look everywhere. Everywhere looks so porous. The way you have fences in Africa, build your house, build fences, there is no fence. The way you put a heavy iron on your window, or as in the name of burglary proof, there's no burglary proof. The house I stay in America has no burglary proof. It was only glass. I opened the glass. I did my hand like this. Everywhere was empty. I said, hey, come and try that in Nigeria. I mean, everywhere there is no fence. Then you will now begin to ask yourself. And some areas are so lonely. They call some area boonies. In the boonies, when you live in the boonies, it's so lonely. Yet, they are secure. I mean, it's as lonely as anything. But if anything happens, bam, you call. If you call the police, within 3 minutes, they are there. Don't ask how manage. Some will come by land, some will come by air. Within 3 minutes, they are there. See, you don't need rocket scientists to tell you that Nigeria has failed. For you that like yourself to hide your head anywhere, you discover. Because nothing is available to help you in a country that the sovereignty has disappeared from the realm of the spiritual. And if you know what that means, if you don't know what that means, good luck to you. Everybody living in Nigeria should be pitied. By extension, Africa. And that's why I say anybody that lives in Nigeria don't need to go to hell. If you go to hell, if you are in Nigeria, if you go to hell, you have been cheated. In fact, you cheat yourself because you are already in hell. You won't know that you are in hell until you travel to some responsible countries. You will not know, you will not know, for real, you will not know that you are in hell until you travel to some responsible countries. That is why Nigerians want to use their leg and walk across the desert to make sure they get out from this place. And then you try to stop them to stay in hell. One day I was in Israel, and I was one of the leaders that led some group to Israel. When we passed through Port Harcourt Airport, and when we got to Port Harcourt, every state, we arrived to Port Harcourt, and then we moved from there to Israel. When Delta group arrived, Delta State, when the group arrived, I saw young boy. I told somebody that followed me, I said, these boys will not come back. I said, Bishop, you don't start again, no. I said, these boys will not. I said, we are going now. I said, these boys, majority of the people that were going to Israel with us that time, they were all young boys. And I wonder, the way a Christian pilgrim used to scrutinize and interview, I don't know how they got their visa. I told them, these boys will not come back. We embark on the journey. Just 3 days. 3 days. Half of Dayton disappear. They just announced markets. Everybody go to market, go and do shopping, and that is the time people used to run away. Go do shopping is always King David's market. Go to King David's market, you use the opportunity to see Mount Zion and all of those things, and then do shopping, follow Del Rosa and all of those. By the time we came back in the evening, the rush, I come and met me, Bishop, what you say has happened. I said, what is that? That the half, that means if people that came from Delta are 150 of them disappear just in 3 days. I said, I told you, what do we do now? Israeli security, they are after us. They are complaining to us, Bishop, you that know Israel very well, what can you do? I said, what can I do? I told them, my friend, I have conscience. So I think you know I'm not the one of this 10 that call themselves pastor. I have conscience. He said we are saying one thing, Bishop, you are saying another thing. I said, let me land. Oh, you are wasting time. Let us know how we are going to get this boy for the Israeli people. I said, I will not. I told them I will not. He said, I said, I will not. Cut me out. They said, what? I said, I am not going to do that. He said, okay, what exactly do you want us to do? I said, leave them. He said, did you say we should leave them? I said, yes. I said, you should read my lips. When we get to Nigeria, tell them that I say you should leave them. They said, why? I said, do you have any guarantee that when they get back to Nigeria, they will see anything that will help their life? And or you want us to go and catch them and return them to suffering? I will never do that. All I can do for them, I wish them good luck, but they should not involve in crime. It's as simple as that. I wish them good luck, but they should not involve in crime. Because if you get involved in crime, to catch you there is very easy. If I go and meet Israeli army, okay, we'll catch them. Let's go and catch them. Then we'll begin catching them one by one. To catch people in Israel, very simple. Very, very simple. Just let us know the last spot you see them last. Finish, leave the rest. Don't talk again. Did you say you see him here? That is all. We know what to do next. So what about when I'm running after them to go and catch them, and they cancel the military system? My friend, when you catch them and you return them to Nigeria, do you have anything for them? What will I say? Answer me, oh. What will I say? To catch them and return them to where they will waste, or where they have been wasting. If the place where they are coming from is good, what are they going to do with where they are running to anyway? If somebody is running, you should know something is chasing him. Do you see anybody running from Israel to Nigeria? Why not? You see anybody running from America to Nigeria? You see anybody running from London to Nigeria? Nigerians have deteriorated to an extent that they have destroyed the image of some of us. That when you hold Nigerian, if you want to look like an idiot, hold Nigerian passport, travel. You are not a criminal. They will handle you like a criminal. Just because it is Nigerian passport you have in your hand. Nigerian passport is only good for when you travel and you are coming back to Nigeria, then you hold it. They don't know you. They don't need to know you. As far as they are concerned, because you are having a Nigerian passport, that makes you a criminal. Even when you are not a criminal. Some of us had to fight some people in some airports all over the world. Just because it's a Nigerian passport. Their moon will just change. Come here for check. Come there for check. Come here for check. Just because you have Nigerian passport. Meanwhile, other people that with other passport, they'll just be passing and be smiling. They'll be passing and be smiling. They will hold you there for 5 hours to know whether you are going to shoot cocaine. So, can you give me reason why you that is in this concentration camp will not be focused on your Creator and let him know how he will settle you, where he will settle. I don't want to bother myself where he will settle you. All I know is you must be settled. You are getting old. I don't want you to get old, finish, and begin to speak like Jeremiah. Come out into this world to see labor and sorrow, so my day will be consumed with shame. This is how sorrow becomes generational. One day your children that are running around you right now will grow up and they will ask you one devastating question. Let me ask you the question before they ask you. Mommy, why are we poor? Daddy, why are we poor? What will you say? Very, very strong question. Daddy, why are we poor? Mommy, why are we poor? What will you answer them? That is why I insist the heaven must do something concerning your life before those children grow. Let it be that when they grow, you only tell them we were poor before. They will say, hey, what is poverty? That is better. Let them grow to say, what is poverty? Because they don't know poverty. Your children will not know poverty. You didn't say me very well. It's a good question. What is poverty? That means they don't know poverty. And maybe you now sit them down and begin to tell them what poverty is. But not them asking you, Daddy, why are we poor? All these children coming up, they will ask you, oh. Because teachers are teaching them in their school. They are very intelligent teachers. And there are a lot of things in school curriculum these days that make children to be wiser than their age. The cartoon they watch make them to be wiser than their age. Because the cartoon they watch, it is professors of academics. They are the one that put those cartoons together. I mean, professor of academics, they are the one that put cartoon that children watch together. That is why they are wiser than their age. So they will ask you intelligent and devastating question. Daddy, why are we poor? Mommy, why are we poor? Because the child has witnessed several times landlord come to chase you out of the house. Because he has witnessed several times landlord come to ask for money of rent and he don't have. Because he has worked out several times you want to eat but no food. Some chase away from school because no school fees. Daddy, why are we poor? Mommy, why are we poor? That was why Jeremiah said, come out into the world to see labor. You know what labor is? When you are asked to make brick without straw. Like the children of Israel were doing in Egypt. They asked them to do brick without water. If anybody asks you to do brick without water, what is the person telling you? He wants you to use your sweat to water the brick. Yes, now. He wants the sweat that will come from your body to be the water that you are going to use to water the brick. I don't know how you are going to do that. Because when you stay in the scorching sun and water is coming out from your body, you are heady. But when the water disappears, that's when you know that you are not heady. I want the heaven to do, all of you, Holy Ghost, listen to me anywhere in this world today, right now. I want the heaven to do something concerning the poverty that surrounds your life. And I don't want your children to grow up to meet those poverty. And by my way, your children will not grow up to meet those poverty. I have spoken it. James chapter 1 verse 25. I am reading from the Holy Name Scripture. James chapter 1 verse 25 from Holy Name Scripture. But whoso look into the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, he be not a forgetful hearer. He be not a forgetful hearer, but the doer of the work. This man shall be blessed in his deed. Whoso look into the perfect law of liberty. Whoso look into the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, he be not a forgetful hearer, but the doer of the work. but the doer of the work, same shall be blessed in his deed. This passage of the scripture makes you to understand that liberty has a law. So that is to say, liberty is actually a personality. Liberty is not just a personality. Liberty is an archangel. In about 22 places in the Bible, the liberty appear, both Old and New Testament. Liberty in all of those passages. If you want to do or cite a typical example, in the book of Isaiah, in all the places that liberty appears in the Bible, it appears as a proclamation. What is another name for proclamation? Another name for proclamation is invocation. That is, all the 22 passages that the Bible, liberty appears in the scripture, it appears as a proclamation. Isaiah 60 verse 1. Isaiah proclaimed liberty there. Liberty appears as a proclamation. That is to say, liberty appears as a proclamation. Anything you proclaim is an entity. Anything you proclaim, anything that can be proclaimed, that is to say, you call him for an assignment. The calling forth of liberty for an assignment. So if liberty is not a personality, how do you call him for an assignment? So let me give you another open eye today, that liberty is an archangel, just like Archangel Michael. So liberty is an archangel, is an entity. That is why liberty have a law. When you are handed over to liberty, liberty will say, okay, you are now in my custody. Now sit down, listen to my law. Liberty will say, okay, you are now in my hand and in my custody. Calm down. There will be no problem from today. You will have no more problem. Everything that I have been attacking you today, I will make sure that I secure you. But you must listen. Sit down and listen to my law. James chapter 1 verse 25. Whoso look. So that means liberty wants you to look at him. It does not want a distraction. Liberty does not want a distraction. It does not want you to have a distraction. Liberty wants you to look. Just like the disciple will say, look on us. Liberty wants you to look at him and continue to look. Because what will give you freedom is in your looking at liberty. It is only when you look at liberty, your freedom is assured. That was why I told you, liberty is surrounded by fortress. But once in a while, you may likely be hearing the voices of distraction at the other side of the fence. But liberty has a law, and he wants you to look at him. So don't look at where the noise is coming from. Because when you are in liberty, some agent of darkness that surrounds your life want you to come out of liberty so that they can resume their torment again. That was why when you go out of sorrow, sorrow will say, I am handing you over to liberty. Don't come back. Liberty wants you to look. Right now, to so many of you that are in Nigeria, there are so many things that will distract you. So many things. Useless government will distract you. No money will distract you. Poverty will distract you. No infrastructure will distract you. No good water to drink will distract you. No good road will distract you. Transportation not working. The one that is working is very expensive. Will distract you. School fees will distract you. That is what makes Nigeria to look like a hellfire. That's why I said Nigerians don't need to go to hell. Because you are in hell. And I don't know whether this is a prayer. Let me say something to you. May you not be in Nigeria until you die. I don't know whether it's a prayer. And let me tell you why I say so. Have the opportunity to go to some countries. Have opportunity. You will not know that you are in bondage in Nigeria until you travel to some country. And all of these useless leaders, all of these thieves, all of these politicians, they travel. They travel. They come back. When they go and come back, they do nothing. You see how stupid Nigerian people are? Tinubu just came back from London, where he had been lying down in sick bed for a long time. He came back. He wanted to become president of Nigeria. Nigerians, you are very stupid. Is there any evidence to prove when he becomes president of your Nigeria, you are not going to have another second Buhari that will be going to London and stay there because of sickness? Somebody got off from sick bed. He want to become, and he say, I had him. I have the experience. I have the money. Shut up. Shut up. He said he has the money. And my question to Tinubu, where did you get the money from? If you had the money, Oga, stay at home and enjoy your money. You don't need to become president. You hear? You can help Nigerians from your house, Oga. Dangote is helping Nigeria from his house. You can do it from your house. You don't need to go to Aso Rock. That's my advice to Tinubu. He said he has the money. Help Nigeria with your money. You don't need to become president. If Tinubu wants his son to become president of Nigeria, that's a different thing. Because you don't need to tell me he's a grandpa and he has enough, he has children that he can support. But what is he doing in government house? Has he not been there before? He forgot anything? He's not saying he has the money. He's the right candidate to become president of Nigeria. He has the money. Hey, Oga, if you had the money, help Nigeria from your house. It's as simple as that. If you don't want to go and steal in the Aso Rock, help Nigeria from your house. But some fools, some idiots, some mumu from Paco Nigerians are running after him. Tinubu for president. Nigerians are confused people. You see all kinds of monkey coming out now. Chimpanzee, hyena, scorpion, snake, python coming out to contest for presidency. Only one seat. They are not going there to do anything than stealing. The only thing that is good for Nigeria now is You need the Rollins of Nigeria, the Rollins of Nigeria, that will clear away all rubbishes. By the time all rubbishes are cleared, others will fear. In other words, there must be a bloody revolution. That is the voice of inspiration. It's either something is done about it, Nigeria continue to suffer. It's as simple as that. It will continue to suffer. And they will say before you buy a form for presidency, you need is it 15 million? Where will a youth get 15 million to go and buy form? What they want to contest, they will give you millions. And yet they want youth to run. And even the youth that will run, who is sure of him? Who is sure of him? Is it now that all these youths are becoming irresponsible, a disgrace to humankind? If they are not, why have they not taken over the streets? As the Egyptian did. Egyptian youth took over the streets. And they pursued Mubarak from there. During NSAS, I thought it has happened. I don't know that there are cowards that enter the road. I thought it had started. But unfortunately, it was cowards that organized NSAS. They just went to the street and risked their life. Come. Let's look at it from this angle. From the day that NSAS happened, forget the nomenclature. It's actually end Nigerian government. That is what it is. And you and I know what provoked some of these selfish things that occupy government house. NSAS was becoming end Buhari. That is, Buhari must go. NSAS was fading away. Then those boys now started carrying placard. Buhari must go. Before they now sent to scatter them. What about if Nigerian youth if they have occupied Lagos? Occupy all the government houses of every state from that day till now. By now, UN, America, Europe, all the country that matters in this world, we ask the government of Nigeria to step down. But cowards started NSAS. Nigerian youth that are cowards. It was wrong people that started that. That is why you will continue to suffer. So when you continue to suffer, don't blame anybody. Blame yourself, because you have not decided to take your destiny into your hand. Or, better still, you have decided to be using leg to cross Libya and enter Europe. Continue to do it until you are tired. Or the young guys want to go for prostitution. Are you not tired of prostitution by now? Where you are going for prostitution is not your country, and it can never be your country. Nigerian youth are many. I repeat, if they have occupied Lagos from that NSAS, and there was, they were doing that in a very, good way, because I happened to run into some of them in Utako, during that NSAS. They come and see human being on the street. Now, they did it in such a way, very organized. They allow vehicle to pass. They are not beating anybody. But I witnessed something right there. I mean, that very spot I got to. I witnessed something. Though they were not blocking road, there are some bouncer that allow vehicle to pass. On their own, they were passing the vehicle. Right there before me, some black motor with siren came. Yo. That was when I say you see stone. They was stoning those vehicles right there in my presence. So I was now telling myself, they allow vehicle to pass. Do you need to blow siren in this situation? They are not disturbing anybody. Oga, pass, leave siren alone. And they carry siren, and drive all kinds of, want to crush the people that are doing protest. That was when those people that were doing protest started using the stick that they hold in their hand. The ones they using to smash the glass. They would have stopped. They would have stopped and see what will happen because they were ready. Those youths were ready to mob the convoy. Me, I just park one side. I just look. One told me, Oga, just wait for us. Wait. Let's deal with these animals. I just park one side. One say, say, Oga, please be patient. Let's deal with these animals. Then you will pass. You see, we are passing vehicle. We are not disturbing any vehicle. Only for you to blow siren. You want to come and climb us. And I saw they destroy more than 3 windscreen of those vehicles that pass with police inside. Now let me say again. If the youth of Nigeria had occupied, and don't forget, if that time they were talking for everybody. They were talking for police. They were talking for army. The part of the thing they wrote is police salary must be increased. They must be properly trained. So you can see they're actually talking the thing that is penning people. I wish they were able to remove the cowardice from that action. Maybe by now there will have been some relief. Because by then, the international community will now say, yeah, Nigerians have taken their country back from thieves. But cowards, listen to me, everybody. In every generation, there is always a revolution. Even the creator himself used to declare revolution. And sometimes when he declares revolution, the revolution is often very bloody, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He will insist that evil must be wiped away from the midst of the people. The new people will now emerge. Before the Jewish got to the promised land, there were Jebusite, there were Perizzite. He ordered them, go and take over that land. I've given it to you. As far as it's concerned, nobody is there. Any boy that is on your way, crush the person and take over the land. I, the creator, have given you the land. That was the statement told the Jews when they were coming out from Egypt. And they went and took over the land as if nobody was there. Right now, Palestinians are shouting, who cares? Who cares? You shout for nothing. The creator has given the place to somebody. And that's it. It's always like that. Where you call your father's compound was not originally your father's compound. It was somebody else's compound. But when your fathers were fighting war, they took it for somebody and killed the person even. you are born into that land, you are unchallenged. Does not mean your father did not get it from somebody. That is how life has been from inception. It has always been like that. Even now, we now have authority grabbing. Authority grabbing. State governors are grabbing land from citizens, from indigents, and nobody will talk because they have the power to issue CFO. They will grab the land, quickly give the CFO. They're grabbing land. The suffering in Nigeria is not coming to an end until Nigerians is able to take their destiny into their hand. Because all the rubbishes will continue. Yes. From the day the voice of reason and the voice of prophecy and the voice of inspiration say, principality have shifted base. You don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. And in our own little way in this environment, how you will be exonerated from the untold suffering that is everywhere is what I do all the time. Otherwise, I do not need to preach to be comfortable. To preach is even a disturbance. It's disturbing me. If my preaching will make you to be helped, why not? That is why I don't take nonsense. I don't take nonsense. Everybody know it. All the Holy Ghost all over the world know it. I am not one of those preachers that take nonsense because I am not hungry. I'm not hungry. Can't you say I'm not hungry? Anytime you know me, I was already made before you know me. There is none of you that know me. Since the time you know me, you have never known me as a poor person. All of you came into Holy Ghost time to come to know that I had already been made. So I am not a beggar. I will not be a beggar. I will never be a beggar. And this is 30 years now. If I'm like all of those hungry preachers, there will be too much of crowd. And then you see useless human being who killed the people that killed TB Joshua. The man want to help. He forgot his own head. He died. And now they will go and look for another prophet. Read my lips. All of those things that are running after TB Joshua, they will go and look for another prophet. That is life now. They will say the man don't die. Their prophet don't die. So they go and look for another prophet. How I will be able to help you from this quagmire of untold slavery. And everything that I say from my mouth, hear it and think about it. And I did mention some time ago, Nigeria is a concentration camp. What is the meaning of that? You don't dare talk against the government. They will send the jobless DSS after you. They are jobless. They are chasing cockroaches. Meanwhile, terrorists is taking over the country. And the terrorist that is actually taking over the country is as a result of the failure of SSS. There's nobody they won't go after. I'm sure you remember. There was a time they invited me some time ago. When I went to their office, I scatter everywhere. I scatter everywhere. Because I'm not a criminal. I was on my own. You come and say, you are invited. I will go. I'm not a criminal. If you want to tell lie, let me see where you come from to tell lie. But by the time I went to the office, I scattered everywhere. They said, no, man of God, come down. We are not quarreling. I said, we are quarreling. We are quarreling, no. I said, do you know why we are quarreling? You came and wasted my time. You came and wasted my time. I told them, I warn you, next time avoid me. If you don't, I will sink you 1,000 feet. Next time, I said, next time avoid me. I told them. Next time avoid me. Because I know you are not one of the spirit. If you are one of the spirit, it's better for me to handle. You are a human being. You have wife. You have children. I will sink you. By the time I sink you, you will not know the time you will use your hand to resign from that useless job. Are you not a human being? I will sink you. And when I say I will sink you, I will sink you. Because all of these things like wear uniform, they are not being used as bullies. And not part of the thing that is giving Nigeria bad image. The Council of Divinity has commanded me to help whosoever come. But know this thing at the back of your mind. I will never run after you. You are too small for me to run after you. And I don't need anything from you to become. I have already become what I must become. So, the stage I am now, I am fulfilling my destiny to help whosoever need my help. And by so doing, I am not going to run after you. I won't come to your house or be phoning you all the time. I don't have that time. Without you, I am okay. Don't you get it? But I think without me, you are not okay. I'm only thinking. I wish I'm right. I want to believe I am right. If you think you are okay, don't look for me. Stay on your own. But if I am going to help you, I will tell you the true situation of things in the spirit and in the physical. If you like, you take it. If you don't like, reject it. Last week I read a scripture. It said, stand fast ye in the liberty wherewith Messiah had made you free, and be not entangled again with a yoke of bondage. If you like bondage, you embrace it, good for you. But don't bring your brain around me. Otherwise, I'll give you more. The bondage you bring, you want me to help you, I will help you. But I am not going to impose myself on you. If you want the pastor that will be running after you, they are all over the place. If you cross here now, you see them, they have their business center. They are looking for passengers. I am not looking for passenger. I am looking for whoever the heaven has brought. Such as to be saved. And if you are going to come to the Holy Ghost, make sure you come properly. Because if you come and behave anyhow, I am going to throw you across the fence. I will make sure you break your bone across the fence. My own is to help. If you don't need my help, stay away. If you need my help, then sit down. Listen to the law of liberty. Listen to the law of liberty. When you are in liberty, that is the law of liberty. When you are in liberty, I have just told you that liberty is a personality, liberty is an entity, liberty is an archangel. That means liberty is a disciplined entity. Liberty did not call you. Liberty did not call you. Liberty does not call people. People proclaim liberty. People invoke liberty. People look for liberty. If he like, he answer them. If he doesn't like, he keep quiet. Except you are so favored that the mysteries of life, of course that's what it is, the mysteries of life is able to get you out of sorrow. And sorrow is saying, okay, now that you are going out of me, you are not allowed to go out of me just like that. I must hand you over to the next stage of your life. And by the time you get to the next stage of your life, which is liberty, liberty will say, my friend, I am Archangel Liberty. Sit down and let me tell you my law. If you don't, I will conk your head. And nobody is going to accuse me of bullying. One thing about liberty, he will not open your door for you to go out. No. He will give you thorough beating while you are staying in him. Because he has a law. Liberty is a disciplined headmaster. The one that you used to wear short knicker with a Bible like this. You are in me now, not behaving anyhow, because you are just coming out of sorrow. So right now, you need discipline. You are somewhere where you can live your life anyhow, yaga, 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 yaga. But now, I will tell you what to do. I tell you where to go. Except you like the bondage where you are coming from. When a man is out of captivity, then he enters into liberty. But inside liberty is a well-governed environment. Liberty is not a porous environment. As I have just told you, every archangel have their own heaven. And you cannot tell me all heavens are porous. There is no heaven that is porous. Because every heaven have principality that guide them. In other words, liberty have his own heaven because he is an archangel. When he bring you into him, nobody invade you. You cannot be invaded. It's not possible. It will be contrary to the law of life and the law of existence for you to be in the custody of liberty and you are invaded. It will be contrary to the law of life. Otherwise, it's like, did you actually get there? You got there by mistake? Listen to me, everybody. Nobody get to liberty by mistake. You are consciously invited. You are consciously taken to liberty. You are the one that consciously shout, scream, yell that you need liberty. And then when liberty comes, he tells you what to do. And just respect yourself. Because liberty is going to teach you the law of life. Liberty is not biased against you. Liberty is an agent of Creator. So he will tell you the law of the Creator. And that is one of the archangels. Listen to me, everybody, in case you are listening. If nothing has blocked your ear, and anything that has blocked your ear, I command your ear to be open right now. Amen. Immediately, without delay. Liberty is not biased against anybody. Liberty is not biased against anybody. All the angels, listen to me very carefully. All the angels that walk with Archangel Liberty, there is none of them, not even one, has bolted out to follow Satan. Some archangel have some angel that have bolted out to follow Satan. All the satanic angels that are now following Satan, some of them were once angel under an archangel. But they rebelled and bolted out and decided to join Lucifer. But Archangel Liberty, no angel has ever joined in satanic activity. In other words, there is no fallen angel in the midst of the angels that walk with Archangel Liberty. Because it has always been liberty from the creation, and it will remain liberty eternally. Because when a thing is called liberty, error should not be found there. Inconsistency should not be found there. Things that brings bondage should not be found there. But liberty have his law. It is liberty that will tell you that you have no home training. Then you are here now, he will give you home training. Liberty is going to tell you, my friend, you were in sorrow before. Yes, it is because you have no home training. That is why you are in sorrow. But right now that you are in me, I am going to teach you home training. But as for good life, you will have it. Protection, you will have it. Defense, you will have it. Because Archangel Liberty walk hand in hand with Archangel Michael. When Michael had finished fighting the war and he has set people free, he evacuated them and hand over to Liberty. Liberty will say thank you. Because Michael had finished his work. It will now remain Archangel Liberty to now begin to give them home training. When you are in liberty, you are taught the law of liberty. Liberty has its law. Unlike Angel Michael, what you concern him, his own, he just bulldoze his way. You are in captivity, he scatter all the chain, they hold you by the neck and drag you out. Throw you out of bondage, and liberty will catch you. Say, okay, thank you, Michael. Even if you don't want to be made free, when Archangel have come to fight the war, he will drag you out of that place. He doesn't have time for negotiation. He doesn't have time to say, wait, I'm coming. Let me take my left shoe. When the Archangel Michael grab you, he's grabbing you. Don't tell him you have forgotten your wrapper. And when liberty now finally embrace you, and you now begin to tell liberty, yeah, where I was coming from, I lost my right shoe. You say, forget your right shoe there. You have several shoes here. What you ever lack since you are created is liberty. That was what Adam threw away, liberty. That was why man is no longer free. That is why Jeremiah can say, born into this world to see labor and sorrow, so that my day will be consumed with shame. Otherwise, where liberty is, Satan don't come near there. Satan does not come near there because Satan knows liberty can be dangerous than Angel Michael. I have just told you now. Liberty. Is an entity, it's a personality, and it has a surrounding fortress. And as I said before, people that know what fortress is, every point of fortress is heavily guided and heavily protected. When you talk about the fortress of liberty, What we call God's brigade is child's play. Because whoever that is in liberty, they are in the custody of liberty, and it is perpetual. If anything happens to those that are inside liberty, the Creator will direct ask liberty. What happened to the person in your custody? What happened? And liberty have not lost anyone that is in his custody. When you are in the custody of liberty, have your peace and serve your Creator with rest of mind. If anybody opening eye and running their mouth against you, if you want to smile or laugh at them and walk away. Because they will only talk for nothing. If anybody want to be angry, why are you a blessed person? Well, if you have what to say to tell them, tell them. But why you smile and move away? If anybody is jealous of you, why are you who you are? You have been made. And they want to bring you down. Well, very interesting. Let's see how they will do that. Hear this. Whoever that is in the liberty, you are not required to fight war anymore. Your own is to enjoy the privilege of liberty. Liberty will fight the war. Say that. Liberty will fight the war. You are in liberty. You don't fight the war anymore. You are not asked to go and fight war. You are asked to stay in liberty. Where you are in liberty, there it is time to enjoy the dividend of Creator. That is where you now have an idea of what angels are enjoying in heaven. Where they live their life in serenity, nothing is challenging them. Must you be challenged by anything to be trained in life? Though it seems to me that is how it looks as if life is all about right now. But that is not what life should be. You are not created for your life to be full of challenges before you can learn anything or before you can do anything. You are created for you to live your life in serenity. You are created for you to live your life in comfort. So don't go and carry your bad behavior inside liberty, because if you do, you will regret your future. When human beings say they have law, believe them. When countries say they have law, believe them. When your village say they have their village law, believe them. But when liberty tell you he has a law, take him seriously. Naturally, you say, James chapter 1 verse 25. Is it not contradictory? Whoso look into the law of liberty. It is liberty now. Why does he have law? We thought everybody think, oh, liberty.